How diddly dee, brothers, and thank you for joining us today in the League of Super Zeros. There we have four of us here for our pilot podcast. Everyone, want to introduce yourselves?
Hello, my name is Wolf.
It's your boy, Swift Time. You know how it be.
The Dark One.
Okay.
Nice.
And from now on,
We
I'm
also
calling y'all
have-
by your names.
Yeah. And
So you
we
can
also
call-
have HJ4521. Forgot there for a sec. And,
Forgot
Dark
his
Knight.
own name.
Gotta look at my own
Kappa.
name.
Just Batman.
And
Just Batman.
yes, literally just
Just
Batman.
Batman, the Dark Knight.
So Cybwolf
All
is
right.
Zach, HJ is Noah, your boy
Yep.
Swift Time is Jacob, and your boy Batman is Nolan.
All right, so
What up, Bob?
all right, so everyone, thanks for joining, whoever is listening. And
Literally no one.
so this podcast is going to be. Shut up.
Whoa.
So this podcast is going to be primarily aimed towards talking about movies, video games, TV shows, pretty much entertainment in general. Maybe even some big stuff that might happen on YouTube.
What?
Did you just say?
You messed with the thing.
Shh. I had to go and
Okay.
open something on Discord.
But-
God.
Anyway, let's move on. So we got a few topics on the wheel today. We're going to go through the wheel. And then at the end, we'll probably have some stuff we've done, some cool recommendations for anything we've seen in entertainment or media news. Anything we think is cool, we'll probably talk about. And so, yeah, let's get right into it. And I will spin the wheel.
We should have low key got a digital wheel that we could have put
It
on the
is.
overlay for like the stream though, so the stream could see the wheel.
I mean, I
All
can
right.
do screen sharing, but okay.
So our first topic is going to be the state of superhero movies. So stuff like the X-Men, the Fox absorption by Disney, and DC's current comeback with things like Aquaman and Shazam.
Haven't seen Aquaman, so I'll sit out of this one. You and Nolan have at it.
You guys have
All
fun
right,
with
so
this one.
let's have the current DC expert here discuss this and see what he thinks. Dark Knight, Nolan, you want to talk about what you think about DC's comeback and stuff like the Marvel universe, and just generally what you think of the superhero movie landscape right now.
I think it's pretty good, especially after Endgame. You know, a lot of people, well, a lot of especially movie companies, even superhero movie companies, are kind of taking because it seems like every movie company nowadays is just like, oh hey, let's make a cinematic universe and actually expect it to do well. I mean, yeah, DC's is coming back.
The
so,
Dark Universe.
Wonder
They made
Woman,
one film and then it flopped.
you know,
Nice.
Aquaman was another step in the right direction, and especially Shazam. So
Shazam was indeed lit.
Yeah.
Shazam
DC's
was
finally realized that they can make dark films, but the general audience isn't gonna see a lot of dark films. I feel like just because of how exposed everyone's been to Marvel movies and how generally they're mostly upbeat. Endgame was a exceptional fluke. Sure, it got dark, but at the end of the day, it was extremely successful. I believe it hasn't beaten Avatar yet.
I'm about to look it up.
Yeah, and effectively, just the way that Marvel has pretty much taken over the superhero movie landscape is pretty exceptional. And now, just because they're so popular, some people are looking to something else. So you have things like DC popping up. And we might get into this later, but their streaming service has been putting out some pretty good shows recently. Titans, say what you will about it being hit or miss, was like a good series in the end of it. And Doom Patrol is pretty much DC's Guardians of the Galaxy, since Suicide Squad didn't do so well on that front. Just in terms of the strangeness of it. And you also have, so that's just different takes people are looking for. And you can see with the recent Marvel movies, besides Endgame, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, they didn't do so well. Like, of the Marvel movies, I'm pretty sure the popular opinion is that they are just of the average Marvel movies. You have things like, yeah, go on.
I think it was also because like Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp didn't really have anything to do with like the ongoing thing with like Endgame and the
Yeah, they
Avengers
didn't have
movie.
anything
They
to
didn't
offer the
contribute. Yeah.
universe at all. Yeah. And then, so we have pretty much, I wouldn't call them parodies. I call them spins on the typical superhero take. Stuff like Amazon's new series, The Boys, which is pretty much if superheroes were like paid actors all the time. And you also have things like Brightburn, which recently was released, which is a horror take on Superman. And it made back, with Brightburn being filmed on a budget of $6 million, first of all. Producer James Gunn sure did put his heart and soul into that, I feel like. And they got all of the $6 million back out because it made, last I checked, triple its budget back. And surprisingly enough, it was produced by Sony. So they could have their own cinematic universe now. Anything? What do you think, Wolf?
As someone that never watches superhero films,
Sure. Give us the casual outside observation view on this.
I don't know. For fans, I guess it's good. For me, it's just I don't care.
Just don't care.
No, most of the I
He
don't.
just doesn't care.
I don't pay attention to superhero movies a bunch. I mean, like, I know that I'm not sure exactly like a lot what to say really, other than like, cool, you know.
Does just the overexposure of it affect you in like any way? In just the fact that they're everywhere nowadays. Like anytime a Marvel movie comes out, there's ads for it all over the place, and like any superhero nowadays is just getting very popular.
Yeah, superheroes. Like I said, most of the time I don't care. But yeah, there is a lot of ads most of the time when it comes out, and then like there'll be a bunch of ads that'll overhype the shit out of something, and then the movie comes out and they're just like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
It's not
don't you
bad.
just love
Alright.
it?
It's only
Yeah.
alright. It's not like holy shit, this is a good movie. Other than Avengers,
Mhm.
and Shazam.
Yeah, don't you just love it when a movie comes out and then it's like in every new trailer, it's like #1 movie in America.
It's like no, it
America,
isn't.
#1 movie
No,
in
no,
America.
I
No,
don't
it
know about
isn't.
that one, Chief.
Yeah.
It really
Unless in
isn't.
specific circumstances where it really was, like Infinity War last year,
Mhm.
it was the highest grossing film of last year. And Endgame, like, there's no way Star Wars 9 is making more money than Endgame did.
Fuck no, it ain't.
I don't think
Well-
anything will make as much as Endgame did for quite a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least until something builds itself up again, because
The second Avatar.
that's gonna flop.
Avatar
horribly.
2 through what, like 7?
Yeah,
I think
it's
isn't
2
it
through
just
6.
5?
2 through
It's through
6.
6. They're making
Yeah.
5 sequels.
Jesus.
So
Wait, are they actually making a second Avatar?
They're
Oh,
making
absolutely.
Yeah,
They're
Disney
planning on
bought
making
it.
5 more.
yeah, but
Really?
that's the thing about Avatar is it didn't make its money from being a good movie. It made its money from all its special effects.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which
'Cause it came out in
nowadays isn't that
2009.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, which is why for Endgame to do so well, it had to have like 10 years of build up.
Yeah, for sure.
And then,
For sure.
and then just going onwards past that, DC finally getting their act together after like I wouldn't call them failures. They definitely made their money back, but
Just not even close to
Batman v
Marvel.
Superman, Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
they don't make hits like Marvel does.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't call it, no, some of them might have been hits at the time, but they weren't memorable
Right.
or like lasted long in the popular culture.
Yeah.
Like that's Avatar. Avatar was like a hit at the time, but do you hear anyone talk
Right.
about
No
it
one even
other
really
than
remembers
as
it.
the highest grossing movie?
Exactly.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there's
Yup.
it's just
because
yeah,
go on.
it feels like most of the time, what is it? Most of the time Marvel seems to strike the chord most of the time with making good, like really solid movies. A lot of other companies, you know, they can step up into the ring
Yeah, I
and
don't
make
think
a
they've
good
had
one.
a
Make a
flop
good
yet,
one.
technically.
Yeah, they can make good ones from time to time. Like there can be other companies that do it. Like I can't really think of it. A
Fox
solid
before Disney
yeah.
bought them
Yeah.
with Deadpool.
Exactly. Like they can make good. Like other companies can make good films, but I think that most of the time it's Marvel that like really just fucking hammers it hard with good films most of the time. Yeah.
Definitely.
When it comes to superhero movies, everybody seems like, oh, it needs to be, the exact same as Marvel, or else it's not going to be, perfect. Like as Wolf was saying, like, um, other companies can do it well. And look at like the 1980s Spawn movie or whenever it came out during like the 80s or 90s. I don't. That was an amazing movie, and that's an Image Comics movie. And Spawn's not that well known, so that really got him on the map, along with his animated series, which was really dark, but it was on HBO at the same time. But I think like with the thing with DC is, and even like other like movies nowadays, is it's just I mean, DC, the thing about it is they really don't have control over their movie properties. That's mostly just Warner Brothers because I don't even,
Exactly.
you know, I mean, really, the only thing that DC actually has control over is their comics and maybe their streaming service. But I mean, if they did exactly what they did for the TV shows, like the DC Universe exclusive TV shows, maybe not like the Arrowverse, for like
Mhm.
their movies, I think they'd be doing better, especially with like the guy who produced Doom Patrol and wrote Doom Patrol and everything like that. To
Yeah.
get a live action thing like that be like a comedy would be absolutely hilarious.
Going back to some of the more out there on the fringe films that have been released in the superhero genre, things like Logan back in 2017, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Keep in mind all these aren't successful with things like Venom, and Deadpool was, but Venom not so much. And even things like the Dark Knight trilogy, that was like an amazing trilogy, but it wasn't exactly a typical superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely had a darker side to it.
Mm-hmm. And it's like you can make, when looking at a list of superhero movies, all like almost everything uh, that will come up is going to be mostly Marvel because they are just so incredibly mainstream, and
Yeah.
just because they had the hit that was Iron Man in 2008,
Mm-hmm.
is just made them just a household name. Even like unknown characters, people like Star Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy. Who would have expected a movie like that? Uh, Even like Black Panther, no one knew who he was.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, say what you will about the movie or the character, but no one knew who that was. People do now. Doctor Strange, Ant-Man. Like, after they establish themselves in the popular culture, now they can pretty much make any movie they want, and they can make it a hit. It's pretty impressive.
So that's why they're
Yeah, for
making a
sure.
Captain Britain movie.
Yeah, Captain Britain movie. We'll see how that pans out.
It might be good.
The Combos Man movie coming 2020.
Gosh. It's just
That would be so fucking hilarious. Combo Man's movie. Hell yeah.
Mhm. So wait, I don't think we've gotten your take on this yet, Swift Time. What do you think
About anything in particular? Because, like,
about superhero movies in general on this topic? Just what do you think about them in the modern landscape? Where they stand? How people think about them?
yeah, I mean, overall, I'd say I'm a fan. Like almost all superhero movies that come out, I'd say I mean, I at least enjoy. Like, I still haven't seen Captain Marvel or Aquaman, but I mean, both I definitely plan to watch and think I'll at least enjoy somewhat. Captain Marvel probably just because Nick Fury's there and he's a boss. But overall, I mean, I'd say it's in a decent place. Like, it's definitely better than it used to be. I don't know about you guys, but I personally didn't like the super old Batman films. Just
Yes, definitely.
like they just were a little weird for my style. So now that everything's more mainstream, I think it's more consumable to
Well,
the
that's
everyday
something else.
person.
I would say about old superhero movies. They got rid of the superhero style to them,
Right.
and
Like they were
they
always like
wanted to make it
quirky and like
super mainstream.
nerds type
Yeah,
thing,
Yeah.
at least in
and
my
like
opinion.
the old Batman movies were just really weird, and we're not even close to the actual character that Batman
Right.
was. The closest
Yeah.
we've gotten is the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
The X-Men were not like the only thing similar about them were their powers. The complex relationships between the team and where it was not there. Like,
Yeah,
the only thing that
personally,
was Professor X and Magneto.
yeah,
Mhm.
personally, I feel like the main issue with the old movies was all the villains didn't ever really seem really bad. Like they never got dark enough with the villains to
Mhm.
make it feel like you even really needed a hero, at least in my opinion.
See, what I would say the biggest factor playing into like older superhero movies that pretty much brought them down is the fact that the producing companies, things like Fox, and I don't know what made Batman or Batman Returns or anything like that, but the companies that made the movies didn't want to go full in on the superhero aspect because they didn't know it would sell well.
Right, it hadn't
And
been
even,
well established.
yeah. And another, yeah, so when Iron Man came out, another thing is it made people realize that, hey, we can do a superhero movie and have the superhero aspects in it, and it doesn't have to be like weird or insane or anything.
Yeah,
You can make
for
a
sure.
successful superhero movie where you use the cool, like weird parts from the comics. That's pretty much what Guardians of the Galaxy is as a movie.
I think the thing about it is, I mean, say what you will about Adam West's Batman and like the 1960s Batman, but because that obviously the 60s was a way different time,
Yeah,
especially for comic books entirely, and the superhero genre as a whole, and just how the world changed. It was like Vietnam War and stuff like that, but that we're not gonna get into that. But um, it was because the thing about Batman 1960 was it was just so like family friendly, and I think that's kind of what the older Batman movies tried to follow. Maybe not like the first two with Michael Keaton, but definitely
Sure.
like the one with Val Kilmer, especially the Batman and Robin with George Clooney. Yeah, it
Yeah.
tried to follow that, and they followed that tone for a while until they got to like the Dark Knight trilogy and like the first however many Superman movies there are. I kind of lost count after Man of Steel,
Yeah.
yeah, for
but
sure.
with the Dark Knight trilogy, it kind of doesn't even feel like your traditional superhero movie or even your traditional Batman movie, I should say. It feels more or less like a real world, down to earth movie. It doesn't,
Right.
feel like a comic book movie. No,
It
don't
felt
get
like they weren't trying to make a superhero movie, they were just trying to make a good
A
movie.
crime thriller
yeah,
with the
Yeah.
Batman trilogy. And
yeah,
then, so another topic that is up for discussion. So with the recent release of X-Men Dark Phoenix, I believe that came out, I think it was Friday. It was its release day, which for us would be the 7th of June. We're recording this on the 8th.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yesterday.
it's being produced by Fox, and it is the last in the current X-Men universe before it gets presumably rebooted by Disney to be included in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and probably Avengers 5 or something like that. Who knows at this point, but
Yeah.
and it's not getting like good reviews.
No, it
It's
has a
not
6 on IMDb and a 44% on Metacritic.
Yeah, and whew, it just didn't. On a budget of 200 million, it only made around 50. It looks like over
Well,
the
that's
weekend.
in one day. Yeah.
yeah.
I,
15.
I mean,
I
after Hugh Jackman left, X Men really just went downhill.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
I think
go on, Wolf.
there's something that goes on with movies like that where it's like you're still probably running off of source material and all that, but I feel like there's something where it's like you take a property and you just milk it so dry to the point where it's like, why even bother anymore with this? Like
Yes,
with
that's a
X-Men,
very good point.
with
go
X-Men,
on.
it's like you there's nothing to go on. You're going off of like, yeah, probably something they did in the comics at some point, but it's like you could just stop trying to milk this. No one really even likes the X-Men films to begin with. Like, of course,
Mhm.
there's some probably good stuff in there, but it's like, why even bother with this when you know it's not gonna do you any good? To
It's a very good point you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, about oversaturation in these movies where they will put like so much stuff from the comics and like arcs, entire series into a single movie just to try and get fans of every series to go see the movie, but they don't think about the future.
Right.
I mean, hell, they killed off Marvel's Unkillable Mutant.
Yeah, back in X2. And then, yeah. So back to X-Men in general, just the Fox absorption into Disney. Their series is pretty much gone at this point until they get put into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is going to happen. Although before they do that, I think we're probably more so going to see a Fantastic Four reboot. Yeah,
Hopefully.
Like the
They just
the
have a-
third or fourth one.
the third reboot of Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
But hey,
and
third time's the charm. Apparently, it worked with Spider-Man.
it's probably
Right.
It
still
worked
gonna.
with Thor.
It's probably still
Yeah.
gonna flop, to be honest.
I mean, it's a Fantastic Four.
I
It
don't know.
worked with Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Granted,
we'll
Wonder
have to
Woman
see.
only has had one movie.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to another topic. Gonna spin the wheel. All right. So our next topic is going to be on streaming services. Things like Disney Plus, HBO now losing out on, like, I think it was 40% of their customer base because of the end of Game of Thrones, and the statistic increase of piracy because of the amount of, I wouldn't say competition. This harkens back to a recent video I've seen. Which,
Yeah, the one that I posted.
yeah,
Yeah.
increase the competition, but not so much competition as it is exclusivity between platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I just look at the search of streaming services, you got Netflix, you got Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, PlayStation View, YouTube, HBO Now. You also are going to have Disney Plus coming out. You have DC streaming service, DC Universe, just so many. And the original allure of streaming services was that you pay like 10 or 12 bucks a month and you get to watch pretty much any show on the service at your own choice. But the thing
Right.
about that was it was only efficient if you were only paying like 10 or 12 bucks. Because you're cutting the cable cord, you want to cut down on expenses.
Right.
And cable can be pretty pricey, like at least 50
Oh,
bucks. Even then, if you're saving 40, that's still a lot. So back when Netflix was the top dog, and it was pretty much only Netflix and Hulu, Prime hadn't established themselves, YouTube hadn't gone premium, DC Universe wasn't in existence, and Disney Plus wasn't even a concept.
Yeah.
When it was just Netflix, they had just so much. And it was really easy to find a show because chances were it was on Netflix. All you would have to do was search it up and watch it. But now you want a show, you have to figure out what streaming service you want or what streaming service it's on. Then you figure out if you have that even. And the amount of customer dissatisfaction has just been going up as people realize I'm losing out on these TV shows I want because they're on a different platform, but I don't have that platform and I don't want to switch because a lot of stuff I also like is on my current platform.
Right.
I just
Like-
feel like, yeah, it's like every company that like owns a show or a property that's somewhat successful sees the like how good Netflix had it like back a few years ago, and they're just like, we can do this too, but with less shows and less content, except for this one big show
Exactly.
that we have.
And
No.
it's more
That's
expensive.
HBO
And it's
now.
more expensive. Yeah, it's like the only thing HBO has is Game of Thrones.
And that's done.
and it's like over. And what are you gonna do now? Go and watch Drake and Josh? That's the only thing you
Right.
have on HBO.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you gonna do? You literally can't do anything anymore. You have to go to like all these places to be able to find the shows you want, like you
Right.
said. It's like you can't. No one can be happy with this.
Yeah, this is like the one case where competition between platforms is bad for the consumer and good
Well,
for
Yeah,
the...
just like the video. If it was real competition, it would be good. If everybody had all the shows and you were just
And they were
competing on
competing between which
prices and
platform.
UI. Yeah.
pricing, platform, UI, and
There-
features.
There is a thing
Right,
though.
but instead they're competing over shows, and the prices are going up because they aren't having as many customers. But realistically,
Yeah.
the prices should be going down because you're not offering as many shows.
Exactly.
Right.
That's Netflix's problem. Like Netflix, right? I mean, I have Netflix, I have Prime, I have DC Universe, all that. But Netflix's main problem is they put the shows you want on there, but for 6 months. So what's
Yes.
the point of paying if you can only watch like a couple seasons of your show and then they're just gonna take it off? You know?
Yeah.
Like, what if you want to come back and just watch one of your favorite episodes or something?
Mm-hmm.
And then chances are Amazon Prime will have it because Prime Video never has anything.
Prime Video never has anything yet. They
There's
only
no
have
point ever
they only
using
have
Prime Video.
originals. Yeah,
They do have Doctor Who,
Doctor
They
Who.
do.
but that's
like
it.
one piece of entertainment in media that I had known nothing about.
Yeah.
Star Wars, yep. Marvel, yeah. DC, yeah. Most major franchises I know something about, but Doctor Who, nope.
One of the biggest companies in all of the world just deciding to have their own streaming service out of nowhere. Isn't that
Yeah,
neat?
Disney Plus.
Yeah, thanks,
I wonder where they
Disney.
got that idea.
Just buy
It's not-
Netflix already.
I know. They honestly should. Half their stuff is already on Netflix, and once it's gone, that's got to be another set of subscribers for Netflix that are just gonna leave.
Yeah.
Right, a large
Plus, we're only
portion.
there for Disney, similar to HBO Now and Game of Thrones.
HBO Now is gonna be done though.
Yeah,
Right, unless they come out with another insane show like Game of Thrones, which is unlikely.
mhm.
No one's
Or
really
they'll
gonna
just
stick
do
around.
what almost every show does is, just like make like a show in the same universe, but
The
just
Arya spin-off show. That's theorized.
like it's kind of like what they did with Avatar: Last Airbender. They made the Legend of Korra right after to try and
Mhm.
keep the hype alive, and it just didn't work at all.
Doesn't work.
Mhm.
That's what happened
Yeah.
with Star Wars: The Clone Wars. They tried to make Rebels after, and that died. And so they're now bringing Clone Wars back
Right.
on Disney Plus exclusively.
Yep. So I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully what happens is either they realize that it's going down a rabbit hole that'll just kind of destroy
Eventually,
everything.
it'll fill out once
Right.
there's so many streaming services and so little content on each one. It's pointless, and everyone just starts pirating.
Pirating
everything.
literally everything. Yep, and they'll realize, hey, we're pretty much not making any
We're
money
not
from
making-
this, so let's kind of try to figure this out.
Yeah.
Or like major companies like Comcast, like, and I'm kind of getting this feeling, and this is kind of a stupid
Don't
idea.
get me started on Comcast.
But like, I'm just getting like, because like if streaming services are failing, but at the moment currently, I mean, because my mom canceled, cable for YouTube TV, which is another streaming service, but it has like all your mainstream channels, stuff like that. But I feel like though that like because especially with the Fire Stick having all those streaming services on it,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's very
at this
useful.
point, cable companies are just going to start charging, like making specific cable boxes just exclusively for streaming services, and that's kind of what I'm afraid of with like the Fire Stick. I mean, I know that you don't have to, pay monthly on that, but I mean, in the future, I guess that's what they could do, but
Mhm.
it just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. For me personally, if you're gonna make a streaming service and expect me to get it when you have so little content, you need to have something else. That's why I really like DC Universe. They give you access to so many of their comics just for free for having it.
Mhm.
And even movies
YouTube,
and TV.
what's it called? YouTube Red. Not only does it cut out ads, which fair you can get out with an ad blocker, but you can also view like like exclusive creator material.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Game Theory had a show.
Yeah.
What's it called?
There's
PewDiePie had a show. Vsauce had a show. Just so many creators had pretty much just extra videos that went into more in depth.
here's the one thing about streaming services. What they have for most of their paid content is most of the time they'll come up with original content even though most of the time it's a bust, it's at least something.
Yes.
With YouTube, it's like you have the YouTube Red movie lines, so you have the movies with like Logan, with you have the stuff with like Logan Paul and all those people. You know, they have at least those movies. They have the YouTube originals, right, which you can get with the paid service, and so does Netflix with all their Netflix original shows. You have like what was it like My Witch Academia or something like that, or that one, Agretsuko. You have a bunch of other ones.
They have Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah.
I think that's the main one Netflix has.
Yeah, they have a bunch of different shows that's exclusive to that platform. That's one of the reasons you have to go over there. Same with YouTube. They have all their originals. I don't think HBO has anything like that, and so does Amazon. Amazon also has a few exclusive shows that they produce there for just their platform. I think one of them was, I don't remember.
They have Bosch. They have the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
They made or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
and they made the Tom Clancy one as well. I don't remember what it's called, but Tom Clancy made a show for them.
Jack Reacher or something like that.
Yeah,
Jack
something
Reacher.
like that.
That was the Tom Clancy one. I think they have what's it called?
They made one something about Pete.
Wasn't House exclusively Amazon Prime?
I'm pretty sure it's not an Amazon exclusive. House was over before Amazon Prime was even a thing, but it is exclusively on Amazon.
They have The Tick. They have Man in High Castle.
I didn't like The Tick.
I was like 3 episodes into that and just kind of stopped.
Yeah, it's a very weird. I almost feel like that's almost all of Amazon original shows. Like I'll get like 3 or 4 episodes in, and I'm like, I'm just kind of bored. I'm gonna stop watching.
Oh, it's now. Goliath, not Giant. Goliath. That's the show that I have not heard anything about, and somehow there's 80,000 reviews.
It's because Amazon really has nothing good on it.
They are coming out with Good Omens, but in my opinion, I feel like David Tennant is just gonna carry that show, and that's about it. They came out with Hannah as well, which I saw trailers for literally all the time.
Yeah, every time you go to a movie theater.
Right. Amazon is definitely big in the trailer thing. That's for sure.
And so, let's go to another topic then.
Spinning the wheel of mythicality. Oh, nope. Trademark. Can't say that.
Whoops.
Checking the wheel.
I think they had an exclusive show too. I don't remember.
Yeah, they did for sure.
The what's it called? Those people.
Yeah. Good Mythical Morning.
Good Mythical Morning. Yeah.
Good Mythical Morning. I used to watch a lot of their content. All right, microtransactions and free-to-play games.
I'm fine with it.
No, I didn't say in. I said and.
Oh, okay. Because yeah.
So Dark Knight, I believe you recommended this topic. You want to start us off on it?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, it's kind of like microtransactions are obviously in like every modern day game now.
Yup.
Escape it. Like even like for like some of the stupidest games, like like freaking Resident Evil 2 the remake. Now I've never played it, so it has microtransactions in it or not, but it probably does. Like I mean, Mortal Kombat 11 does, but I just think it's getting a little ridiculous. It's just like, stop. Nobody likes it. Why are you doing it? You're gonna be losing money because of it. Now, like free to play games, though, that's a different story.
Right, free to play is fine. They have to make money through microtransactions. It's what free to play has always
people just
done.
Don't donate.
But big AAA games started it because they saw the money free to play games are making. Particularly, I believe when Fortnite came out, they saw that was making bank, so it kind of just exploded even more. But even before that, there were still companies making AAA games. I think Call of Duty was the first one that I knew of.
Yeah,
that
I remember.
Really started making crates. Yep, and it's like your game costs $60, and then you're gonna make in-game content, which I think it was Infinite Warfare or something. They had literal.
Infinite Warfare was crazy with that.
Yes, you could literally get guns that were better than other guns by buying them. It's literally pay to win.
It
Yeah.
started. I think it might have started in Advanced Warfare. If not,
Yeah, that
it
was the
started
first
in
time
Black
the
Ops 3.
supply drop.
Yeah, I think
think it was
it
Advanced
started.
Warfare.
It started in Advanced Warfare, where I think you could buy crates with IRL money, and you'd get gun variants that were ridiculous compared to the actual ones.
Yeah.
Ones that
Yeah.
had better stats. That literally, as long as you
They
had
would
it, you
change
could
the
win.
gun.
You would,
Infinite
yeah,
Warfare
yeah,
weapon.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Getting a legendary would change how the gun functioned.
yeah. It
Like,
was.
I remember
it was-
specifically, there was a weapon that would transform into pretty much dual automatic pistols and then back to an automatic rifle.
Yeah.
You could change that so that it would transform into two dual automatic shotguns. That
Mhm.
changes the way the gun works and how it plays.
Yeah. Some
There
of
was
the.
a weapon that would like gain damage on a kill. There were weapons that would just change the firing mechanism. So much stuff that you could just buy and quickly get an advantage.
Yeah, it was ridiculous what they had to do. Like Call of Duty started that off with all their loot crates and all that stuff, and then it just spiraled out of control from there. You had games like, I think Halo did it at one point. There was
Battlefield.
Halo was bad.
yeah, Halo picked
but-
it up, and then what else picked it up? I think
Keep going. I want to see if you're going to get to the very worst one of
a
all.
bunch of EA games. EA.
Are we getting to the very worst one of
Yeah,
all?
EA. Like any EA game had it.
What's the
I
worst
know-
one?
Fucking
What's the one
Battlefront
that screwed
2.
it all up?
Battlefront
Yeah, there it is.
2 destroyed
Battlefront 2.
everything. When it came
Made
to
lawmakers make legislation
Activision,
for it.
Activision overall was fucking awful with
Oh.
like every game they had. They dragged Destiny 2 into this shit. That's how
Oh
bad
my
it was.
gosh, yeah.
Like we have people we play with that spend hundreds of dollars, hundreds of dollars on this game.
On microtransactions.
And then I think what was it? There was a few, like any game really, a lot.
There's
like
always going to be the whales.
there's a lot of games. I know Rainbow Six Siege. I've personally spent almost $200 on that game just in characters. Like it's bad. Like literally, most games will have it now, and it's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was like an active Call of Duty player. I mean, because Call of Duty Black Ops 4, I mean, obviously, easily the worst Call of Duty for microtransactions. I mean, let's be honest here. It's because they pretty much just released the game unfinished and just put everything in a loot box. So,
Wow.
you know, it's just like,
Read the topic
I mean,
at the top.
they just released a new update called, forget what it's called. It's like something summer. It's like big summer update or whatever. And so they released this thing. They put a Bowie knife in the game, not Bowie knife, ballistic knife.
New
Which,
Days of Summer.
Oh.
Yeah. And what they do with the Bowie knife, did they do it CSGO style, where there's like 50 different ones or whatever, and everyone freaks out when they get one?
well, the problem is with this is, especially with the Days of Summer weapons, I've seen people on YouTube spending $900 just to even try and get one of these weapons. They're just locked behind a paywall. And I
Yeah.
think that's kind of ridiculous. You know, you shouldn't be paying that amount of money for an in-game weapon that you're probably only going to use like once or twice.
Not to mention in a game that already costs $60 to buy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be taking out a loan to, play a game. I mean, let's be honest.
Go to the bank.
I'm not,
I
like,
need a
putting a down
$1,000
payment on
loan.
I'm looking to get a in-game virtual.
Yeah.
I'll bring back whatever I have left. Back $75.
I mean, free-to-play games too, like especially like MMOs, kind of overdo it a little bit. Like you guys are probably gonna make fun of me about this, but especially like Wizard 101. Like if you want to progress in that game without like any microtransactions,
Yes,
you're out of luck.
locking progression behind paywalls is ridiculous. It almost
Battlefront
always
2.
needs to be just cosmetic only. Like that's it.
It made people freak out with Battlefront 2. They added perk cards to the loot crates, and like different levels of perk cards means different different powers to the perk cards. Higher levels like common, uncommon, rare, epic, better cards, and that's what started that whole controversy up, because you could just buy the packages to get the cards.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, the thing is though about free to play games is like, I mean, it's kind of all started with Fortnite with the free to play games.
Oh my
You know,
gosh, yes. Dude,
'Cause they
Destiny
have-
2 has added an item shop that is pretty much just like Fortnite's item shop with their most
Yeah.
recent update.
I mean, most of the Destiny 2 stuff is cosmetic. Most of the time, you can get rolls on like sparrows that are
The
good,
trap.
but then again, we had glitches to get rid of that. But of course, they've been
Mhm.
patched now, which sucks. But you know, Destiny 2 like actually has a good balance there though. It's like what is it? You can go in and get only cosmetic stuff mostly. That's all it is really there. Except for like some helmets or some sparrows where you can go in and
Yeah.
get stuff that's actually has good rolls on it and stuff, good stats. But it's like it's nothing that's gonna really affect your game. You know, companies that are able to just make it purely cosmetic, so stuff like Overwatch, I think Black Ops 3 and 4, I think 4, yeah, 3 and 4 both had that.
It was cosmetic.
Yeah, it was like anything cosmetic only. That's a good balance, because then you don't have stuff where you can go in and like have an advantage. Except for Overwatch, which had one Hanzo skin that one of the legendaries actually extended the hitbox of his of his super when he used it.
Oh, you mean that?
Yeah,
the
the wolf one.
Where he could hit. Okay.
No, it was really stupid. But
Okay.
a lot like whenever it's cosmetic only stuff and you can buy it out of that, that's the best. Like that's the best balance you can get when it comes to a full price game. Like sure you can still and go buy the crates, but most of the time they have the progression system where you're able to get it yourself, like just through playing it. So
Yeah.
yes.
And
I
then
mean,
go on.
I still stand by the fact that Injustice 2 is like one of the only games to do microtransactions right so far. Because you
They're
literally
literally
cannot
only
do-
cosmetic. The only way to get the loot boxes in that game is by playing the game.
Yeah,
It's
you
really
literally
nice.
can't buy it.
No, you can't. You actually can't. The premium currency can only be used for skins. You can't pay for it with loot boxes. Unlike Mortal Kombat X. 1,
So I don't
XI,
know why they
11.
changed with Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah. And then, Battlefront 2. I wish it was good. I wish it was good. All right.
Talk about a flop.
Talk about something that lit the industry on fire. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a controversy.
They get to E3 and they're just like, we know we screwed up with this one.
They put out like
but-
a gameplay review of Jedi Fallen Order. It just looks like Uncharted, but with a Jedi, and you can't even cut people's like arms or whatever off with the lightsaber. Like if you slash at someone, it just makes like the glowing cut or whatever it is, cauterization.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's basically like a mix of Uncharted and The Force Unleashed.
You've
basically.
seen it.
Yeah, I saw the gameplay review.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I guess let's move on to our second to last topic, and this is going to be Disney remakes and sequels.
Oh boy.
All right, let's begin. So Aladdin came out the week before last. So for us, the 31st, I believe, is when Aladdin's release date. Oh wait, not Aladdin. I gotta say Aladdin 2019. It will be forever known.
Oof.
And then whenever Aladdin 2029 or whatever comes out, because you're just gonna keep remaking movies to the end of time. Because apparently Dumbo didn't hurt them at all. That remake flopped.
What about
Dude,
Lion
I
King?
didn't even know it came out.
Yeah. Lion King is an interesting thing. At first, they weren't going to have the music in it, which is really weird. Like all the music that Elton John wrote for it, they weren't going to have in the movie. And then people like raged, so they put it back in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And now the thing is, it's just, oh my gosh.
Well, apparently
The animals just look, okay, yeah, go on.
Apparently, the remake for Aladdin wasn't that bad. I haven't seen it personally myself, but apparently I'm not sure about the reviews either, but apparently it was a good movie.
Oh yeah, I know it's a good remake. It's like Beauty and
Well,
the Beast.
I don't know how good it was compared to like the source content. It has pretty shit reviews from what I'm seeing here, but like, from what I've heard from people, it's okay. It's not like god awful.
Yeah, it's okay.
Now, in terms
I
of like,
found.
in terms
Go
of
on.
like other remakes, stuff like Beauty and the Beast, I think it
Yeah.
was. I haven't seen that either, and I don't know if it was good or not, but apparently I've heard it was. So then again, they try to follow source content, but it's ridiculous how they want to remake literally every movie that
Dude,
they
they're
did from
making a
like the
Mulan
Renaissance.
remake.
Yeah,
They're
they
making a Mulan
everything from like the Renaissance. So stuff like they've remade like every movie. So they're doing Lion King now. They fucking done what is it? It was Lion King, Beauty and the Beast. They done Aladdin, and now they're
Jungle
doing
Book.
Jungle Book and what was the last one you said? You said Mulan now?
Dumbo.
Yeah, Mulan is
And
gonna
Dumbo.
be their newest one at the end of this year.
It's ridiculous. They don't need to do this. All they're doing is cashing in on nostalgia and getting a shit ton of money from it.
Well, this
It's
leads
not
into
needed.
what I said earlier about sequels. They like are not making any original content right now.
Yeah, not at all.
They're just remaking movies. Their next big release is Frozen 2. So, I mean, that just tells you what they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is though about like Disney remaking these movies, and I kind of feel like the reason why the reason why they're remaking these movies is because for like the past couple of years since like it for like past 5 or 6 years I should say, Pixar has not been doing well. Let's be honest.
No.
Like
Does
Monster
Pixar even exist anymore?
No,
Clearly.
they're coming
Here,
out with
let
the
me-
new. They're coming out with the new. What is it? The new Toy Story movie.
Let me read through every single Disney or Pixar movie that is coming out in the remainder of this year. There is one original movie, as far as I can tell. They're making Toy Story 4 sequel, Lion King remaster, Aladdin remaster or remake, whatever it's called, Frozen 2. They made Dumbo. They're making a second Maleficent movie. They're making a Star Wars sequel. They're making apparently a Lady and the Tramp movie, a live action Lady and the Tramp.
I don't understand how that's gonna work.
Something Descendants 3 and some Kim Possible live action movie, whatever that is.
What?
And then the one original idea seems to be this Spies in Disguise movie with like, let's see, who is it starring? Will Smith, Tom Holland, Ben Mendelsohn.
They really
It's
like
big
their
name.
Will Smith, don't they?
Apparently.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Bro, Will Smith is a G, dude.
Really
He's an okay genie. At least he wasn't trying to be
No,
Robin
G,
Williams.
not genie. I don't
I
care about
know. I'm saying genie.
Like the Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
exactly, bro. Is and always will be.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they're making.
Imagine they
original
remake
movie this
Fresh
whole
Prince of Bel Air with his kid as the star.
Okay, so back to Lion King remakes. So people got mad that they put the music out, so they put it back in. Now the next big thing is people being horrified of the animals. Look at that picture.
Yeah, I mean Seth
Oh,
Rogen is
Pumbaa.
lit, but
That picture is
Pumbaa don't look good.
Yeah,
So
well, it seems to be that a lot of the decisions like having to do with like voice acting and like models and all that.
Oh my
they're
gosh, have you
using
seen this cast list for
it's ridiculous. Like
Yeah, it
nothing
is.
lines up right.
I know
like,
they don't
they
even
have-
have James
what?
Earl Jones as Simba.
It was like
Not
Seth.
Simba.
What? Wasn't there Seth Rogen as like the fucking as Pumbaa?
Seth
or some shit?
Rogen is the guy, is Pumbaa.
Yeah,
That's who he is.
that's stupid.
Okay, let me check the full cast. Yeah, they don't have oh, they do have James Earl Jones as Mufasa. Never mind, I stand corrected. So he's like the one returning member of the original voice cast.
Right.
And so we have Seth Rogen as Pumbaa, Donald Glover as Simba. Okay. Some guys whose name I'm not even going to try and pronounce as Scar. James Earl Jones as Mufasa. Keegan Michael Key Kamari, whoever that is. Beyonce as Nala. Singer, but okay. John Oliver as Zazu, and that's all the big names. So actually, it's not that stacked.
Well, if
It's
you,
not that big a cast.
it's like one of the things where it just doesn't make sense. I guess if it for like movie wise, I guess yes. If the voices line up for the characters, then you can do that. But like just hearing what what they have as the cast for each character sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, if you're
Why would
if you're
you-
like a big fan of the original movie or something, and you listen to all these new guys, you're gonna be like, what?
It's
It
like
sounds so wrong.
Seth
Their
Rogen
voices.
in a Disney film, in a children's Disney film. Imagine,
He
Kind of
imagine,
works as Pumbaa though.
but imagine Pumbaa turning around and going.
Uh,
No, it's just I don't hear the like it doesn't sound like it's gonna line up well, but it might. I'm not sure.
go on, Dark Knight. What were you gonna say? No.
No, I don't think.
Yeah. So the biggest reason I think that they are going for all these remakes is they not only do they want nostalgia, but the reason they're doing things like trying to take the songs out and hiring like all these actors and making everything live action is they want it to be more adult, as they say,
Yeah.
More
because
adult than
animation
the
is typically
Easter
seen
eggs
as
and-
like a children's thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at the Easter eggs in the old Disney movies, I mean that's already kind of adultish as it is.
Yeah.
That was
I-
that.
I-
Sure.
I stand by like animation is not a genre. It's like a medium.
Mhm.
Like there's superhero films like Spider-Verse. There's tragedies like Lion King, which pretty much is yeah, you guys might know about it, but it like rips off Hamlet
Hmm.
for a lot of its plot.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't have to read Hamlet? I'm surprised.
No, I didn't have to read any books.
You have
Yeah.
Shrek, which is a comedy. How to Train Your Dragon, adventure movie. Coco, a coming of age story.
Bro, How to Train Your
wait.
Dragon was lit, dude.
Hold on. Did you just
It really was.
What did I say?
you said Shrek? A DreamWorks
Yeah, Shrek.
film.
Comedy
Yeah, it's a
movie.
comedy.
animated.
Okay. Yeah. well,
Talking about animated movies.
I guess,
they're
yeah,
not
general.
a genre, it's a medium.
No, I thought you were talking about Disney, and I was just like, that's a
No,
DreamWorks
no.
film. Hold
He's
up.
like,
yeah.
hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Shrek.
Wait a minute. Something ain't
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
I know
not
Shrek
right.
is DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Common trend between like Disney movies, how like it starts off like happy at the beginning, then in the middle there's like this gigantic fight scene, and at the end it's all like sad.
Yeah.
Mhm. Even going back to superhero movies in the animation genre, there's Incredibles, Spider-Verse, Big Hero 6. There's even like stupid animated movies like Minions, Despicable Me, Emoji Movie.
Yeah, but I think the target audience for those is like kids, so it doesn't really matter
Sure.
that they're super good. Like I'm sure kids like those movies.
There's Wally.
Kids like
Like
it.
that's a
Bro.
what?
Wally was amazing.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
a love story between two robots, pretty much.
It,
There's
Wally was sad.
yeah, that Wally was sad.
I really cried
That was a
during.
depressing movie. They have just I wouldn't call them hot takes. I wouldn't call them hot takes. I would call them more like self parodies with things like Wreck It Ralph. Pretty much a self parody. Tangled self parody. And then you also have things like Moana, movie about discovering yourself, Finding Nemo, movie about family. So like animation isn't just a genre like the Oscars seem to think it is, because apparently an animated movie will never win Best Picture simply because of the fact that since 1970 something, when Beauty and the Beast won Best Picture, they were like, can't have this. they made
Never
it-
again.
They made it its own category, so now
Yeah.
it just gets voted for that, so it'll never win. Looking at this list, you also got one of my personal favorites, Zootopia, crime thriller, buddy cop movie. You have Hotel Transylvania, monster flick, sort of like the Addams Family. But yeah, there's just so much, and with Disney remaking all these movies, they just want to make it for like quote unquote more mature, so that a more general movie audience will go and see it and say, I'm an adult, so this is for me.
Right, but I feel like that's a dumb idea. They should just make it for kids, and then kids will have to bring their parents, so it's like every single
still get
ticket
the
is going to be
adults.
2. Right.
Or you just make normal animated movies, sneak in jokes for adults. Like, that's how most of them are made. That's how Spider-Verse was, which was amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So then I guess we go to our final pie on the wheel. Don't even got to spin it. E3 anticipation. So E3 starts up, I believe, this week on the 11th. Yes, the 11th. So we've already seen quite a lot from most of the major companies that have already pretty much pulled out. We have the Nintendo Direct earlier this week. Sony released a ton of their recent trailers over the past 2 weeks. EA's been releasing some stuff about their games. Yeah, Sony pulled out of this year's E3, so that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Nintendo totally has, but seeing as they released their Direct, I think they did.
Well, Nintendo, yes, has released most of the stuff they've already released most of their things already. But I think they might, because they've already released a lot of what they're going to probably talk about again at E3, they might have a larger thing in the works to show. So maybe something like, if they haven't talked about, let's say, Animal Crossing already, which I'm not sure. I haven't seen everything that that they've released already. But if they're gonna say like, oh, here's an entire presentation on like Animal Crossing, then that would be cool. Or like a new thing on like a brand new game in general, like a whole new series maybe even. But knowing Nintendo, they're just gonna milk something that they already have.
There's 4 major franchises.
Yeah. But I think Sony's not there, so they've already probably talked about what they have.
They think they have too much pride.
And then Nintendo is going to just be like, we've said everything already. What else are we gonna say? They can't. They don't have a lot to talk about unless they have something brand new to come to the table with, which I don't think they probably won't. They'll probably talk about everything they've done already. Now, in terms of other companies that we're talking about, so Microsoft with Xbox and stuff like that, probably just a bunch of world premieres and world's first, a bunch of exclusives that no one cares about. Forza Horizon 5, maybe.
Oh boy.
We can hope for maybe a little bit more of a teaser of Elder Scrolls 6 from Bethesda.
And then,
dude, I'm not even excited for that anymore. Bethesda needs to prove themselves again.
Yeah,
I feel like.
What was it?
I hope it's
but I think it'll probably be a completely different team working on it. So hopefully it's the same team as the last games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm. Yeah, go on, Wolf.
For Xbox again, going back to Xbox, I'm thinking maybe a new Forza game, 100%, because they literally announce one every year. Probably more on Halo, more on Cyberpunk.
Oh, I'm so excited for Cyberpunk. I'm really hoping there's like a more in-depth gameplay reveal for it.
Yeah.
The 43 minutes that was given is amazing, but I just want to know more about it and how long it's going to take.
Yeah, they're probably going to talk about
Epic Gaming PC.
Mm-hmm. So more Halo content, hopefully. I want to see. We got to see more on that Halo stuff. Probably just a bunch of exclusives and world's premieres. That's it. That's all they're gonna have is just that, and then they're gonna talk about those 3 things too. Maybe a new Halo Wars game, but at the same time, I think they're gonna stop at 2. So
Gears 5.
Oh yeah.
I am curious. Do you guys think with Xbox, do you think they'll release anything on their new console? Or probably not, because I haven't heard any rumors really about a new console. Like obviously we know it's coming, but
we know a lot of the specifics already. Native 4K gaming,
right?
It presumably a 2 terabyte hard drive, maybe even SSD if they want to drop it down to like 1 terabyte or something.
Mm-hmm.
A no disk drive, which is gonna pretty much kill physical retailers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye bye GameStop.
Goodbye,
Finally.
GameStop.
Well, GameStop's transitioning over to physical sales anyway for like fan products.
Mm.
But
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like that's just a last ditch
That's a
effort.
last-ditch
That's
effort.
not gonna
Mhm.
work. Yeah.
Sure.
Let me think.
There's
Bethesda-
Ubisoft, so we should get some more stuff on the Assassin's Creed. It's supposed
Probably.
to be a Viking
there might
game.
be a DLC announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Mission 2.
Bethesda probably just gonna talk about Elder Scrolls 6 the whole time. They're gonna try and probably do something with Fallout 76. They're gonna be like, we're gonna try and do this again, and then
No,
completely
I
flop.
honestly doubt it.
And then
Oh, apparently it's already been confirmed that there's no Elder Scrolls 6 presence this year.
oh, that's
Wow.
they literally have nothing to talk about then, unless they have a new game they're gonna release or announce.
This article says they might talk about Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh, new DLC that no one cares about. What is it? What was that?
So the Ellis Player, it's a $60 DLC for an already $60 game.
Yeah.
Still hoping for Rockstar to announce GTA 6. But
Dude,
They
can you
won't.
imagine how many microtransactions are in that game?
yeah,
Watch there not even
Rockstar-
be a single player mode.
Rockstar might come with something for maybe
Red Dead.
possible
Red Dead.
DLC for Red Dead. Possible.
Remastered.
I'm not sure. They might come out with like they could jump the gun and do something on Switch, but it probably won't happen because Rockstar, yes,
yep.
but Nintendo, I think Nintendo might do one of two things. They might talk about one game exclusively, or they'll release a brand new. They'll talk about maybe a new console revision. So something like a new revision of a Switch, maybe they might talk about. So like a whole new redesign, stuff like with
So
improved.
like from the Wii to the Wii U, but
Yeah.
now for the Switch to whatever's
Yeah,
next.
so like a better. It's not like a full like a whole new console.
change
Like a
of
PS4,
It's like,
to
yeah.
PS4 Pro.
Yeah, so
Right,
it's like a
right.
whole new. So like probably a bigger screen, better resolution on it, maybe
So
some
like
more
the DSi
capabilities.
XL or something.
Yeah,
like that.
more capabilities. So stuff like better virtual console stuff. What else? Like better controllers overall, because the Joy-Cons on these break
They
very
just need
easily.
to make a normal controller.
They have pro controllers.
They have the Pro controllers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They're just really
They need to bundle
expensive.
them with the Switch.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's the hard part because these bitches are fucking $70. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
they're even
they
more than
can't-
like a normal controller. That's
they
60.
Right, a normal
Yeah.
controller is I think 30 for like an Xbox or PS4 controller.
For an Xbox, it's about 40.
40. Yeah. It
Yeah.
also depends where you buy it from.
True. GameStop is pretty expensive.
Yes.
That's GameStop in general, though.
Right.
Can I turn in my 3 used games? Can I turn in my Spider-Man PS4?
Here's
Oh,
$2.
Here's $2.
$2.
Turns around and sells it for 40.
What is it? What other companies is there?
How
I'm
about the Stadia?
hoping. What is it? I'm hoping for another ridiculous but amazing presentation from. What was it? Ah, shit. What was the
Are
company?
you talking
Oh,
about
the guys
company that, like,
who made
Yeah. Those ones. I don't remember their names now.
or
Shit.
Wait, are you talking
Devolver
about the
Digital.
present-
Devolver Digital. I hope for
Yes.
another great presentation from them. I really want to. I want to see another great presentation from
Oh my
Devolver.
god. Yeah.
Um,
that was amazing.
I love 2 years in a row they made great presentations. I love watching them.
Looks
Loot
like an honest
boxes.
version of an E3 conference
Yeah. No. What
I
other?
thought you were talking about
or EA conference.
I thought you were talking about Blizzard with Diablo on mobile.
No.
Is this an out of season April Fool's joke?
No.
Yeah.
Or not Diablo. Blizzard's gonna come on and just be like Overwatch. And then be
Overwatch
done.
is still going on. We still
Yeah.
love it.
It's still just
Congratulations.
Overwatch. No,
We don't
but
want to make Diablo 4, but we'll
they're
make
not gonna.
Overwatch.
Dude, they screwed over their fans so
Blizzard. If
hard.
Blizzard comes out with a new IP, then I'd actually be surprised, like
I
genuinely.
doubt it.
Which
No,
it's not
it's
gonna
not Blizzard.
happen.
Remember, it's Activision Blizzard.
Oh, Activision
Exactly.
was
Activision
sorry.
right.
Blizzard.
Activision Blizzard.
Sorry, God.
You gotta
Um,
say it right so people realize what it is.
Next thing you know, Amazon Original is gonna go to video games now.
Dude, Google Stadia Oh my gosh, that is like the ultimate privilege to have one of those things and be able to use it functionally with Wi-Fi.
you
With
need
Wi-Fi.
fiber internet. Yeah, either fiber internet or insane Wi-Fi.
The upload speed just has to be.
What?
Let's see what we can do.
Let's see. What else is there? So we got Blizzard. EA is just gonna come up and be like, "Here's a new game, and it's gonna have a shit ton of microtransactions."
Yep.
Here you go.
Some you can just tell based
Well,
on like
Here you
No,
go.
they're gonna talk about probably a new FIFA, probably
Yeah.
another new Madden that no one
but
cares
no, I don't
about,
think
some
anyone
type of
cares
Star
about the
Wars game.
sports game.
No, they're still gonna
Yeah.
announce it
There's,
because
they have
they're popular
apparently
somehow.
okay. So
No, I mean at E3, no one cares about a Star Wars game. The people
Oh.
going to E3 aren't the people
Nope.
playing FIFA. And
So E3, the beginning is Countdown to EA Play. After that is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. After that is
Yeah.
Apex Legends, then Battlefield 5, then FIFA 20, Madden NFL 20, and The Sims 4.
Ew.
they need to get more.
Wait, they're doing more stuff for The
No,
Sims 4?
no mention of Anthem whatsoever.
Oh
Thankfully.
yeah, Anthem is dead at this point.
Yep.
What other
They need to get more
companies?
content into Apex if they want to keep it going.
What companies
me-
am I missing?
Let me even
The-
check what it is on Twitch.
The PC conference is going to just be indie games exclusively.
Yep. Maybe
Makes
some
sense.
VR stuff.
Maybe, probably they're going to talk about VR stuff.
Because
It would be
I know
cool-
Valve is coming out with a new VR headset.
It would be cool if the PC,
It's called the Index.
it would be cool if they had a VR conference. If they had
Yeah,
a full
that would be
conference on
cool.
VR, like that would be cool. But
so
they're not going
Apex
to do
is
that
currently
anytime soon.
15 on Twitch, and
Mhm.
Fortnite is number 2. So obviously,
They're probably
can
gonna
see-
have some. They're not gonna like have anything for Fortnite, most likely, not unless Epic comes out with their own
Epic
conference. But it probably won't, because all they would be like, all they would say,
We made Fortnite. End
Oh,
of conference.
we made Fortnite. Here's the next season, and that one game that everyone loves is coming exclusively to the Epic Store. You're welcome.
Yeah, of course. What is the one? CD Projekt Red finally sold out.
Mm. Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077 exclusively on.
You guys think we'll see
exclusively on
anything
Epic.
from Gearbox?
What'd you say?
You guys think we'll see anything from like Gearbox on like Borderlands 3, even the new Borderlands?
I
2?
think there'll be
Oh.
something on Borderlands 3, definitely.
They'll definitely probably do gameplay for that, but that's going to be part of the Xbox conference because I think they still have a contract with them, most likely. Not unless they don't. Do they?
Because I know Borderlands 2 is coming out as a new DLC. I think it comes out tomorrow or something.
They'll probably talk about like maybe for Borderlands 3 they can talk about like future DLC maybe. But if the game like it's mostly probably just going to be like what the like probably just the future of the game mostly if they even talk about it in their future projects, which
Honestly, at this point, I'm just hoping companies release a full game for once in their
I know.
like recent life.
Right.
Like, can we
Right.
just get not betas that you call a quote unquote full game,
Oh my gosh, I was
where
so
the
hyped for
actual
Anthem.
full game is actually a $20 DLC to make the game even somewhat good?
right.
Yeah,
Well, supposedly Borderlands 3 is going to have no microtransactions.
yeah, I supposedly doubt that.
Yeah, we can hope, but like
There's
it's owned
no
by
way-
Epic, by the way.
Yeah,
Or
there's
not
no
owned
way.
by, but
Yeah,
being released on the
Who
Epic
makes
Game Store.
Borderlands?
Gearbox.
Gearbox
Supposedly
and
Gearbox hates no, it's Gearbox and 2K.
yeah,
It's Gearbox hates microtransactions.
it's being
I mean, that'd be
perpetuated by
cool,
someone if
but
there is.
I know it's getting
transactions.
released only on the Epic Game Store, so I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I might pirate it eventually.
So Randy Pitchford owns Gearbox.
Are we
see
missing any companies, or did we hit everything?
I feel like we
We hit
hit
most
most
stuff.
of the major ones.
Yeah, I
I'm
can't
sure
think
there's
of
like a
anything.
few
And
little ones we're missing.
you said Sony backed out already, so they're not going to be
Sony
there.
backed out.
Okay.
Oh, what about Bungie releasing something for Destiny 2?
Bungie will probably talk about Shadowkeep.
Yeah,
That's all they're
Bungie,
gonna talk
too.
about is Shadowkeep. That's it.
probably.
They're gonna be like, we're going back to the moon, and that's it.
Yeah, we're
Re-
using old assets again.
Yep.
Re-
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think that there's like it's just even like a small chance of Valve being there with possibly like Left 4 Dead 3 or
No,
Valve might Valve
That
could be
was
there.
So lazy.
Valve could only be there for one thing, and
And
that
that's
would
VR.
be to talk about
Card
the
game.
index, and that
Yeah.
would be it. They'd come
Yup.
for probably just the PC conference. They'd have a small section where they'd probably bring out the index, show off what it does,
And then
and
probably
then
have
talk
a
about
section where people
pricings.
can use it. Yep, pricing.
Yeah, and pricing, they already released all the prices. It's $1,000 for the full set. That's minus the base stations, which you can get through Vive. It's literally just the Vive base stations. So
Yeah.
all they're
Which
literally they're
Vive
gonna
base stations are good, so
yeah,
it's fine.
literally all they're gonna do is come out, show off what the controllers can do. Someone will put the headset on, they'll play a game, and then they'll be done with it.
Mhm.
That's all Valve is gonna do.
So let's
If
just
they're even
automatically
there.
assume that Left 4 Dead 3 is never coming out.
Yeah,
Left 4
Yeah.
Dead 3, Portal 3, Half-Life 3.
it's never gonna
Valve
happen.
just doesn't make trilogies.
They don't like the third number.
Yeah, they make like card games.
Team Fortress 3, that's never coming out.
That's
Nope.
never because they still actively support Team Fortress 2. It's just very slow.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead 2 is still very active, and even Left 4 Dead 1, but TF2 is probably the most active game because they only support it on PC. As
Mhm.
far as I
I
know, on
mean-
console they don't support it.
No, console
be
console
surprised.
support stopped when they released the orange box. They literally never updated it.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, so that was our final segment. Does anyone have anything to recommend to the fine listeners? Anything cool you've played, seen, done? What's like the most awesome thing you've seen or played this week?
Uh,
All right. Well, I'm gonna start off.
Yeah,
So
go
for
ahead.
anyone listening who has not seen Avengers Endgame, I just
Of
saw
course.
it again today.
oh my god.
Go watch it.
Yep.
Just go watch
But
it.
I
Give it
mean,
more money so Avatar.
the 1
so it
in
can
1
beat
billion
Avatar.
person that hasn't
the
seen
1
it.
in 1 billionth person. It is so good. Just everything about it. And obviously, if you're hearing this and you're like, I'm gonna go see that, I'm not gonna say what happens because then you haven't seen it yet. You don't want to be spoiled on like the best movie to come
And
out
before
this year so
Zach's
far.
like, go watch JoJo.
Alright, guys, go watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventures new episode tomorrow. They're going to be wrapping up some things in one of the story arcs soon. So Vento Arreo's almost done. So they're gonna get into part 6 pretty soon in the anime, which is pretty nice, to be honest.
Okay.
I can hear the smile on your face.
Fuck you. Alright.
Nolan or Jacob, Swift Time or The Dark Knight. What are you got anything cool to recommend to the fine listeners?
Lucifer, pretty good show.
Did you like
Love
just
Find it on
binge it all
find
this
it
week
on
or something?
Netflix. No, I haven't finished. I'm on season 3 out of 4.
Oh,
It's based off of a comic book.
yeah, the comic's amazing.
Yep. Good
I've read
show.
parts of it.
Good actors for the most part.
Is it produced by CW?
No.
No. It was, let me see. It's now produced by Netflix, but it was produced by
Oh.
Okay, that's good. I'm probably gonna watch that then. Actually, a good rec.
And I gotta recommend Swamp Thing, the show.
Did it can't come out? Like, have you seen
Yeah,
it?
the pilot came out and then episode 2 came out. It's really good, especially the CGI. Is how Swamp Thing looks is just absolutely amazing. And they're actually following.
Oh, they actually
the
showed
comic
Swamp
book
Thing in the first episode.
at the end of it, but in the second episode they show more.
Alright.
it was
Well,
made by
everyone-
Fox, by the way.
Yeah.
Is that all we
So-
got?
Dark Knight. Do you have anything to recommend?
Swamp Thing.
just said
You just
Swamp
said Swamp
Thing.
Thing.
Alright, so Swamp Thing,
Lucifer,
Swamp Thing,
JoJo,
Lucifer, JoJo, and
and
Avengers
Endgame.
Alright.
For that one person
yeah.
in the world that hasn't seen it yet.
All right. Well, we'll hopefully see all you listeners in a week.
Hopefully.
Bye-bye.
Alright. Thank you.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. See you.
I'll be wrapping up stream now. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Mhm.
Alright, thanks guys for showing up. I want to thank you guys for coming for the first episode, to be honest. Thank you very much. I'm going to be sending you over to Lou now, because he really needs it. So, thank you guys for showing up, and have a good night.